Why is it harder than ever before to recruit stylists and staff for your salon? We're going to cover that and a ton more all on today's podcast. Stick around. Salon owners are some of the most amazing people on planet Earth. The only problem is sometimes their hearts are so big and they give so much of themselves to their staff and guests that it creates unintended consequences. Our goal is to change the industry by elevating the way the rest of the world sees salons, spas, and barbershops and give it the credibility that it truly deserves. This is the Salon Owner Evo Revo Show. Today's podcast is brought to you by Salon Scale, allowing you to charge by what you know, not by what you feel. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jason Everett here on the Salon Owner Evo Revo Show. And this topic has come up, 14 million times in the last couple of months. People are saying, hey, Jason, it's really hard to find great staff, no matter what size town you're in, whether in a small town or a large town. And if you're having issues finding staff, do me a favor and comment in the below in the chat, wherever you're watching or listening from, and just say issues. That way we know that you're having issues too. But I've got some people always say, Jason, I've run ads on Facebook. I've run ads on Instagram. Like, what else can I do to find people? And I know two people that you absolutely need to meet. There are two people that I've known for, I think it's been 5+ years now, but I would like to welcome to the show some good friends of mine that run a program called Canvas Me, which we're going to be talking about later today. Please welcome Matt and Jen Martinelli. What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome to the show.
Hey, so good to be here and be back.
Yeah, super excited. Thanks, Jason.
Dude, well, you guys were on the show like super early with me. You guys were in the first like 5 episodes, I think. And now I think we're on like episode 88, lucky 88 for you guys. And, it's awesome to have you guys come back on the show because I know it's been almost 2 years since we had you on the show. And you guys have made some massive progress on what you're doing. And I think one of the things is like people ask me like, him having a hard time recruiting, and you guys were the first people I called, and they're like, hey, I know you've got some tips for me. Would you be willing to come on the show and just share? And if you guys want some hot tips from these guys today on hiring, do me a favor and comment hot tips, because they're going to be sharing with you not only what they've learned over the last several years of helping salon owners recruit, but what are some of the tricks and tips and insights that can be provided to you, because I think people are just not hiring people right. So anyway, welcome to the show, guys. Glad to have you here. And I'd love to know what your thoughts on why is it harder than ever to hire stylists and staff for a salon? Is that a new thing? Tell me about it.
Yeah, no, first of all, there's so many things we could dive into, but I think, first of all, it's always been an issue. Jen and I have been in the beauty industry for 20 years. We worked at Millennium Software for a long time. We got to work with thousands of beauty business owners. Yeah. And they all have the same question, right? This has been happening for decades. I think what's happening now is you're seeing a heightened issue around recruitment because of COVID, we had a lot of salons shutting down. Then salons started an influx of new guests that they couldn't service because they didn't have new guests. And now you're like, oh my God, I got to find staff. And recruitment in the industry has always been tough, right? And I think that's part of the mindset shift where we come in with Canvas Me, is that you shouldn't just be like recruiting when you need to hire. You should be recruiting all year
the time. Yes. Dude, I'm 100%. That's why I want you on the show, because you guys are a big fan of recruiting all the time, not just like, I need staff tomorrow. It's like whether you have interns or, associates or new stylists, like if you're recruiting when you need somebody, it's already too late.
Too late. I love it when a salon owner calls me and she's like, I really need your help. I need an artist who's been 5+ years, who has a full book. And I'm like, that's a unicorn. Like seriously, it's almost impossible.
Like, can you find me this unicorn and please have it delivered? I need it by Friday because my demand is so crazy, right?
Yes.
Well, and I think the reason why it's always been an issue, and yes, now it's magnified, is that we can't. It's a very human industry, right? And even all around any industry, you're hiring the human. You're hiring somebody that fits your culture. You're hiring somebody that is coming to join your work family, right? And so how do we do that, especially in a creative field, through Word doc resumes? And so the professional was feeling frustrated and stressed. I feel frustrated and stressed creating a Word doc resume to showcase my value, because
how do you just put into words the artistry that you bring to the table? And just say like, I worked at these salons for this many years. You're like, great, who cares?
Exactly. And so what are my values? What am I looking for in my next environment? What are my biggest dreams? And how can you help me achieve that? And how can I help you enhance your atmosphere and enhance your, service? And so we do that through video, through imagery, right? And so really this industry lends itself to creating a portfolio, and the beauty pro has a better time creating a portfolio and can resonate with creating a portfolio versus a Word doc resume. And so that's really where we're bridging the gap, is we're humanizing the artist, but we're also humanizing that business owner, because we talk to a lot of beauty professionals and especially a lot of students, and they have this fear-based mindset. They're so scared that A, they're not ready, that B, they're not good enough, that C, you might not have enough training for them when they get there and they might fall on their face. So they have all these fears that go unanswered. And so through humanizing the business owner, we can answer those questions. We can help them feel like we're going to nurture them and we're going to take care of them and they're joining a work family.
Yeah.
Right. And I think what I love about how you guys have operated, and again, if you guys haven't been to canvasme.com, just canvasme.com, go check out what these guys have done, because they basically have brought what would be considered like a digital portfolio to the artist, and a digital portfolio listing to the salon. And we did a training inside our academy called Salon Sizzle Reel, where we showed salons how to create like a 1-minute hype reel of what it's like to work inside their salon. Now, in general, you might be able to post that on Facebook or Instagram and say, hey, we're hiring. And like that would be helpful. Don't get me wrong. And I tell people to do things like that all the time. By the way, hot tip, if you're not doing that, please do that now. But the idea is that you want to use creative and innovative ways to feature yourself. And I think Canvas Me's what? That's like $39.99 a month or something like that. It's like $40 a month, right?
Yeah.
So we're not talking about millions of dollars here. Like you'll pay more money testing one ad on Indeed for the week than you will running something on Canvas Me. And I think the cool thing about it is you guys are so industry specific. It's like you already have stylists who post resumes looking for work from all over, right? All over North America. And I would imagine other places too, but like all over North America. And then you have salons that are looking for people, and you help plug those two together, industry specific, because Indeed's like any job, anywhere. And this happens all the time. I see saloners like, I keep posting my job ad on Indeed, and the barista from Starbucks keeps applying for a stylist position. And it's like, well, wait, like you paid for that barista to apply to your job and you paid money for it, versus the thing about Canvas Me is it's really hyper specific to the industry. And so look, I mean, I think, if you want to check out their website, it's totally worth it. But I would love, guys, to find out from you guys, what kind of things can people do to pimp out their profile or their portfolio? From the salon owner side, what have you seen the greatest success? And maybe this will counteract, like not only on Canvas Me, but like if they have their, Facebook listing or Instagram listing or things like that, what can they do to beef it up so that they actually attract the right type of person? If they want that unicorn, great, but how do they get the right culture fit? How do they get the right mindset fit? What do you guys think?
Yeah. So the first thing we talked about, what people were doing wrong, was they weren't recruiting all year round. That's the big problem.
Yeah. That's a good point.
The second problem is they're not providing the omni-channel approach to really target potential hires with all the different platforms that they're leveraging.
Right.
So what I mean,
so I love that you just mentioned post to Facebook. Still post to Facebook, but then
still do that. Yeah.
Then you're driving them back to a targeted Canvas Me page, right? And that's how our platform works. Is that you drive them back to our page, where then that person's consuming your videos, watching, seeing your imagery, right? So that 360 approach of continue to do things, but drive them to a place.
This is super big. And I you probably, I don't even know if you know how big what you just said was in my brain. It's this big. But here's the problem that I see. And I think you solved a really interesting one. A lot of salons are like, well, hey, I want to recruit, but when they go on my Instagram, that's our public facing Instagram. It doesn't show what it's like to really work here. So I've had some saloners, another hot tip alert, some saloners have created a secondary Instagram page to just profile their staff, and they use it for recruiting only. But what I like about this is you're saying, look, if you're going to recruit, have a recruiting page that they go to that just profiles that. I mean, I guess you could do that on Instagram, but it's not as good as being able to have other stylists find. Like, who's going to bump into your profile on accident unless you put them there? But what you're saying is basically have a landing page for them to go to that showcases the staff, what it feels like, what it looks like, and it's curated for them who goes, hey, I want to be a staff member, and it's exactly tailored to what it's like to be inside the salon. That's smart, man. That's super smart.
And what's so cool about it is that you don't have to create another Instagram page, right? Because again, that takes money and time and someone to manage that. Well, now you just your free Linktree account and then put in your available positions in Linktree, and you can drive people right back to the portfolio. And here's the cool part, Jason, is that a lot of artists don't apply to opportunities they want to because they don't feel like they're being served the right way with a Word doc resume. So because they create a portfolio that really elevates who they are from not only an artist perspective, but as a human, they're more likely to apply on Canvas Me. So they could click one button.
Click one button.
And now they've applied. But again, you can put that on your link tree. You can tie your career page on your website to your Canvas Me opportunity. Some of the biggest salons on our platform that see the success that they're seeing applicants every week is because they're leveraging their career pages as well as Instagram and Facebook and their Canvas Me page. So they can tie their career page, click one button, apply via Canvas Me. Now they have a dashboard of applicants ready to go.
So I think another tip is, what is your hiring process look like? Like, is it like, it should just be a click of a button. I mean, when you look at our attention spans as humans, right? And now you're looking at this next generation coming in, we don't, and it's statistically proven, they don't want to spend longer than 15 minutes trying to apply for your career opportunity. So if you're asking these questions, right, it makes it difficult.
So here's the thing. I want to cover some more steps in the hiring process to make it easy, but I'm overdue for a break. We'll be right back. When we come back, Jen's going to give you a step-by-step process to increase your hiring process. I got lots of thoughts here. You got my brain on fire. We'll be right back.
Hey, HPSA listeners, let me ask you this. Are you tired of not knowing what your hair color is costing you on every appointment and watching it chew up your profit? Well, with Salon Scale, we take the guesswork out for you. Using a mobile app paired with a Bluetooth scale, Salon Scale will tell you exactly what your color is costing you on every bowl mix down to the gram. As you mix, Salon Scale will also digitally store your formulas and track how much product is being used in real time, so you can manage your inventory, cover your expenses, and generate more profit in your salon. Use promo code HPSA10 to get 10% off an annual subscription. Salon Scale, the new standard for mixing color.
Welcome back. We're hanging out with Jen and Matt Martinelli from Canvas Me, and we're talking about how do you actually get more people to apply to your job postings. Right before the break, I was all fired up. I'm excited because you guys have got me on this great thing. I think one of the biggest issues in recruitment is getting people to apply and making it super simple and easy. Because I'll tell you some framework, and then I'm sure you can unpack for me, Jen and Matt, a little bit more about how to make this process easy. One of my favorite things to do during interview process is to have somebody submit a video application. Like, I love it. It's fantastic. And it is a high bar thing for people to do, is like send in a video of you answering these 3 questions. And people are like, well, hey, every time I tell people to answer that video, nobody applies anymore. Like, it's too high of a bar, right? But what I love that you said right before you went to break was that you want them to create their own portfolio to send in. And you don't want it awkward to be like, well, how do I update my Word document resume? Or heaven forbid they do something worse, right? How do they update something that feels like it's 1984 and they're typing it up? How do they actually create that? And the cool thing about Canvas Me is they create their own portfolio. And then as they're looking for opportunities, they just hit one click submit and they pop their digital resume that's completely full multimedia to that salon. And we lower the barrier of entry for them to be able to submit. So talk to me about how this whole process of creating a portfolio works. And like, I mean, not all the nitty gritty details, but like what's important about it and why that's such a big deal for them to be asking for that stuff and make it really easy.
Yep.
Yeah. So the portfolio is really easy in that it's all things resume. So employment history, education, right? All of the things that you want to know, where they're located. However, it includes the ability to upload a video. So you were just talking about even that video sizzle of answering these 3 questions. It eliminates a lot of that entry level vetting, right? You don't have to get on the phone, have that video. It's a really great ask. And so these professionals can actually upload videos. And that's what we coach. We coach them to upload videos talking about themselves, their future, their values. So that's all pinned to the portfolio. They have a beautiful My Work section, so you can actually see imagery of their work. We talk specialties. So what do they specialize in, or what do they feel that they really hone in on in terms of skill set? We talk, even software knowledge. We even ask them to list out KPIs so that you can be really
nice. That's awesome.
Numbers.
So yeah, Jason, you said something earlier that you probably didn't realize how massive it was, but I have to bring it up. So again, because these people are taking the time to create a portfolio and upload video and do those kinds of things, you're getting a different level of candidate when they're applying via Canvas. So that's, we have to talk.
Yeah. Cause to your point, Matt, that is raising the bar is like, so, cause what I'm hearing you say is when you post a job ad, even if you do it on Indeed or Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or whatever, you say, hey, the way in which we're accepting applications is through Canvas Me. Please create a portfolio and then we'll consider your application. You're
Yeah.
automatically saying, I want to see your work. I want to see some videos. And if they send you in a little crappily filled out Canvas Me portfolio, you know how interested they are.
Yes.
Right?
And so
Not
we
very.
actually, yes. And so we actually helped Pulp Riot, Mazzani, and Pureology hire over 100 national educators in less than
Nice.
60 days because of that video. And I have to tell you, most of the people that applied, I think they hired about 73% of the people that applied because
Wow.
the level of people that they
Yeah.
got was fun. And they had them upload two videos. They had to upload a video of why they love the brand and they had to educate on something.
Right. In order to
Yeah.
apply.
Right.
And not
Yeah.
the bar doesn't have to be
Massive.
set that high, but what we're realizing is because it's a digital experience and we are all digital natives, it
Yeah.
lends itself to a fun experience because as that professional is creating this, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like, wow, I have a
Like they're
place.
playing with a social media account, basically.
Yes, I have a place that I can host all of my professional, assets and all my professional
Yeah.
celebrations, my awards, my recognition.
Mhm.
I can even sync it with my Instagram. And so it's just a home base where
That's
these
cool.
artists can celebrate. And so I think that's what makes it so attractive for them. And
And
it's not that challenging for them to create,
it becomes their website. It's essentially their website. So they can literally send their link to anybody around the world, even if they've never heard of Canvas Me, nor do they have an account. They can view their
Yeah.
portfolio just like a website. So again, you're
Yeah,
giving
I
them
love
that.
it. I love it. I think it's super smart, you guys. I love how you guys created this. And I think, we were talking about this from just a standpoint of like, I want to rewind back to the beginning because I imagine people that are listening or watching the show right now. And if you're excited about this, do me a favor and say excited. But I think that there's something that people do is they're like, well, wait a second, Jason. I thought you said it was harder than ever. How the hell are we going to get people to fill out a portfolio and do, because I'm just gonna be the devil's advocate, right? That one person who's like, but Jason, I can barely get anybody to fog a mirror, let alone fill out a portfolio. And this is how I feel about it. And you guys tell me how you feel about it. But the way I feel about it is I don't think there's a shortage of people who want to work. I think there's a shortage of incredible places to work.
Mhm.
And the
Yep.
right people are looking for work. But it used to be that you could just slap up a sign that said, now we're hiring, and people would stumble into your salon. Like, I think that's part of it. People are like, oh, really? You'll pay me to cut hair? Really? That's
Great.
amazing. Right.
Yeah.
But now it's like, well, look, if you're good at what you do, you want to find a good home to go work at. You want to find the right culture to go be in front of. You want to find a team that you're like, am I going to like these other girls and guys that I get to work with every single day? Because I'm going to spend, a lot of my life working with these people. And I think people have just decided to get picky about where they work. So the old idea of like, we're a salon, we're open, now hiring, lucky you get to come work for us. I think those days are gone. And I think what you're doing is you're forcing people to get in an audition sort of mindset to come and work at your salon. And by being on Canvas Me, you're placing yourself as a prestigious place to come work that they're going to want to apply to work at because you've put your whole portfolio together instead of just saying like, by the way, we're open still.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think even this next generation of artists, they're looking for, they might not even care so much about compensation as they do about making a difference in the world.
I
Right.
would
And
agree
so
100%.
you can get really and sharpen the saw and get really clear with your message of we are a sustainable salon and we're going to do XYZ.
Right.
And we do this thing every quarter where we give back and we do that, right, will attract that right person. And I think, we talk about it a lot, like, oh, share your culture. Do I say, how do you share your culture?
Yeah, but what do you do? I mean, again, hot tips, like if you really want to create a separate Instagram page and try and manage it, great. Or you create a one-time thing on Canvas Me that's clearly for recruiting, $40 a month, and then people can go check out the profile and they land there. And I imagine, like, again, one-click application. They don't have to awkwardly send, like, again, on Instagram, how am I going to DM you my Word document? Like, it just, I'm going to send you a PDF it's just like, let's take that process away. Let's both create, as the owner and as the stylist or, technician that's in the salon, both create some digital resumes and compare and meet each other. I think you guys brilliantly have put this together in a way that's very helpful. I know you guys have already had a lot of success over the last couple of years. Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking. Again, congratulations on your continued success. And I hope that more people find out about you because I think you guys have really revolutionized the way people recruit. And on the platform and on the portal, to me, The ability for them to submit a digital resume that is actually interactive and multimedia where they can upload videos and their work. I mean, I think that's genius. So yeah, super, super good, you guys. What would be like, what are 1% of the people on your platform doing that are like absolutely killing it? What are they doing better than everybody else? Like, can you give me any insight into the people who are like quickly getting more resumes? What are they doing as
Yeah.
recruiters?
So there's a couple things that they're doing. Number one is they're creating that omni-channel approach. So they're
Yeah.
linking it
So
up their
lots
website.
of different social medias.
Yep. The next thing they're doing is they're highlighting their staff. So your
Mm,
current staff is going to be one of the biggest assets in recruiting your next artist. I promise you. So we have a lot.
mhm.
What's cool about our portfolio pages for our businesses is you can upload as many videos as you want. So we have salons that literally will take out their phone and go to each of their stylists and say, "Why do you love working here? What is it that
Mm,
different? Why do you love our culture?" And they do 30
that's so
seconds.
good.
We work with hundreds of schools around the country. And so we're getting these young artists that are creating portfolios. They're scared. They want to know, like, who am I going to be
Like, is
working
it
with?
going to be cool if I go there? Yeah,
Can I get that
I love
vibe?
it.
Can I be part of that culture? Can I be myself? And when you can view that staff member that's talking about why I love it here, it really makes a big impact.
Yeah, and there was a salon owner that
That's
highlighted like
good.
5 different employees, and their reason for working there was all different. So they all touched on different pieces of the puzzle. So there was one person that was like, "Well, the culture, the
Hmm.
environment, I feel really supported here." And then somebody else was like, "Well, I get a really good education." And then somebody else was like,
Hmm.
"Well, we do these charitable organizations." And so it told this beautiful story of all these
That's
different
so
reasons
good.
why it's great to work there. And then
Wow.
what's great about it is you then have those employees buy in to then share to their pages, "Hey, we're hiring, come work for this amazing, business that I'm working
Love
for
it.
and join our team," right? Because now they're sharing the word
So
out with.
good. You guys, that
We
that was
actually,
worth all the money right there. And I have to say this because I'm in the process of hiring like 3 new people, and I was like, you know what? Like, we have great culture. Don't get me wrong. And like my staff, once they meet other staff, they're like, oh my god, it's an amazing place
Mhm.
to work. But I do testimonial videos for everybody who is in our academy. I've never ever, like, you just blew my mind. I've never ever thought like get my employees to shoot a video saying why they love
Yes.
to work here.
Yes.
Because
you know, it's
again, if they're looking at our online listing and it's like, hey, we're hiring and we're paying this much, you're really not comparing it to anything. Versus like, by the way, if you want to know what it's like to work at the High Performance Salon Academy, watch
Here it is.
these 5 videos from our staff who say, before I worked here, I was just a number. And now I feel like I'm part of the family. I would,
Yes.
and I enjoy every single day I come to work. And like, I'm not just saying that, I really enjoy it. And I think that's such a powerful tool. That
yeah.
is a money thing to help recruit.
Yep.
That's big,
Actually,
you guys.
we had a salon that came to us on the East Coast, big salon, multi-location, and they had such a great name in their town, but they were actually it was really intimidating for young artists. They wouldn't
Yes.
apply
They
because
were
they would
scared.
get
Ah,
such a big name that they were scared. So they started to really
um,
humanize their employees, and it's
interesting.
starting to really change the way people
Dude,
start to
Yeah.
apply.
I think
wicked smart.
I think another thing that's really important, I just lost it because
Because I talked.
It'll
yeah.
come back. I promise. It'll come back. So, but yeah, if when it comes back, just flag me down. But what I was gonna say is, you guys, this idea around using recruitment videos and actually like, this is what I want to kind of say out of this is that I think we've gone from hey, we're hiring to you actually have to go into a little bit of a sales process. What I was just hearing you say about kind of getting into the minds of who's going to apply is, are they saying, will this be a great place for me to work? Can I be here for a long time? Is it too intimidating? Will I, like, you have a big name? Will I be accepted there? And if you can
Yes.
write down a list, this would be my tip hearing you guys talk right now. If you can write down a list of like what you think people right out of beauty school would have as concerns to work inside your salon, shoot a bunch of videos answering those concerns. Or
100%.
if you are looking for that unicorn, let's go to the unicorn for a second. If you are looking for the unicorn that already has a full book of business and they're your perfect culture and they'd have no issues, but I don't believe those people exist. But let's say that they are that unicorn. Because by the way, those people are salon owners other places. You're not going to recruit other salon
Yes.
owners. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if you say that, like one of the things that we talked about, and Jen, you tell me if you got yours back. One of the things we've talked about is a lot of people are leaving booth rent and coming back to commission salons.
Yes.
And so
We
we
see
did a
that.
whole and we did this whole study on to say, you need to let booth renters know it's okay to come back. Like, it's okay. Like, you're not going to be shamed for coming back, or like, hey, have you, like, ask themselves, what are they worried about? And they're going to say things like, I realize it's more work than I expected it to be. or I actually don't have as much free time as I thought, or for some reason my income has gone down, it's not come up, and I'd like to go back into an environment where I'm around a fun team of people that loves working together and wants to encourage each other. So if you realize what questions they're probably asking themselves and you answer those in videos, or you answer them in writing or with what your videos or photos say, massive.
And I think if you're in a highly suite rental or booth rental like environment, right? Talking to all the reasons why they end up going that way in the first place, right?
Yeah.
If they're considering coming back, they're like, well, I can still get all the things I love about education, working with a team, support, all these benefits, and still have freedom and all these other things that I value, right? So I think it's about understanding values. I did remember my thing. So
Wait, I want to get. I think I might guess.
Matt's like, he's like, I want to make a point. Okay, you guys, we're almost out of time. So Matt's got to make a point. Jen's got one more point each, and then we got to rock.
I'm so in tune with you. I bet you I know what it is. Personality assessments.
No.
Okay.
But yes.
But I also think this
personality assessments, then Jen's point, then we're out.
Real quick, I think another thing that salons aren't doing well is understanding what their current staff is feeling every single day, right? So if you have difficulties recruiting, right, it could be because your current staff isn't happy either. So we do personality assessments because we want to make sure that everybody feels really good about their environment, what they're working in. If it's not good, great, because you can fix it.
Right.
You can fix it.
So the last thing I'll say is that a lot of salons will have success as well posting a mentorship or some kind of like a shadow day opportunity. Yeah. We work with hundreds of schools, so we infiltrated into the curriculum where they're now building Canvas new portfolios.
Curriculum, I like it.
Yes. So,
so they're actually building portfolios in beauty school now on Canvas.
Yes. Yes.
So good. They need that. That's amazing.
What's beautiful about that is, first of all, we were underserving our students with a resume for all these years. The 100%. Work that comes out of these schools, these students are phenomenal. Insane. And so now we're seeing that. But these business owners are posting mentorships or shadow days so they can form that relationship with that up and coming student that's on the verge of graduating, because we know students want to be nurtured. They want to nurture that relationship through school. And this is a way you can digitally be in front of them all the time and almost do that dance. Like, do you want to work for me? And let's try it.
Let's try it out. It's an audition. You know what I mean? It's a process for you to learn each other. And so, look, guys, this has been really, really good. If you guys have gotten a lot of value out of this podcast today, do me a favor. If you're anywhere that you can comment podcast. If you're in your car, just yell podcast at the car. Listen, your Tesla's going to know to tell me that I need to hear that you commented. That's all I'm going to say. But what I just want to say to you guys, thank you so much. I really love what you're doing. You guys are a wealth of knowledge for the industry. Again, guys, go on to canvasme.com. Set up a profile. If you're a stylist and you happen to pop into this podcast, like, cool, set up your own portfolio. If you're a salon owner, for $40 a month, for crying out loud, that's super, super cheap in the recruiting world. So make sure you set yourself up. And if you're a school owner and you're hanging out with us, see if Jen and Matt will come in and do a class for you. I'm gonna whore you guys out a little bit. I hope that's okay. See if Jen and Matt will come in and do a class for you guys and help you guys get your students ready for the real world, because I don't think that people don't want to work as much as they want to work in the right environment. If you can show them it's the right environment, they're going to want to work there. And gone are the days where you can just say, hey, we're hiring. You got to make it look awesome to work there. That's why Google does, food, and they have go-karts going through their thing. Like it's fun as hell to work here. You need to take the same approach with your salons. Jen and Matt, you guys have been incredible. Thank you so much for what you do. Check them out online, canvasme.com. Thanks, guys. Talk soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Evo Revo podcast. Today's podcast was brought to you by Salon Scale, allowing you to charge by what you know, not by what you feel. Please subscribe, leave us a review, and you can always get more information, including show notes and the video episodes at Evo Revo Podcast.